Hello everyone. This is the D part of structure and germination of seed. In the previous video clips, I have explained you about the structure of dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous seeds. In this session, we are going to study about the germination of seed and the seed dormancy. In most cases, the seeds are dry and incapable of germination when shed from the parent plant. When the seeds become shed from the parent plants, they are dry and they are incapable of germination. In this condition, all the metabolic activities are taking place but at the lowest rate just necessary for survival. In dry seeds, all metabolic activities takes place but they are at their lowest rate. That means very slow metabolic activities takes place and that is just necessary for the survival of the seed. A very small quantity of stored food is used in this metabolic activities that takes place inside the seed. A very small quantity of stored food is used. The seeds which do not germinate, even when provided with all the suitable conditions necessary for germination, are called the dormant seeds. So, this is the definition of dormant seed. That means the seeds which do not germinate even after providing all the suitable conditions which are necessary for germination of seed, the seed doesn't germinate. Such seeds are called as the dormant seeds. This phenomenon is termed as dormancy, and this phenomenon, that means the seeds which do not germinate even when provided with all the suitable conditions for germinations, such a phenomenon is known as seed dormancy. It is very important in overcoming the unfavorable conditions. Children, this is an evolutionary adaptation which helps, or we can see, which helps the seed to overcome the unfavorable conditions. It helps in the dispersal as well as the storage of seeds. So this dormancy is very helpful in the dispersal of seed as well as in the storage of seeds. See, we store the seeds. Grains we store all the pulses, but they do not germinate. That is because of that dormancy. Now, germination. What is germination? The sum total of all the process by which the dormant embryo of the seed grows out of the seed coat and establishes itself as an independent seedling is called germination. See, germination is the sum total of all the process by which the dormant embryo, now we have seen the embryo is dormant here, even after all the conditions are provided, the embryo remains dormant, by which the dormant embryo of the seed grows out. When the dormant embryo grows out of the seed coat and establishes itself as an independent seedling, when this dormant embryo comes out from the seed coat and establish itself as a independent seedling, this process is called germination. When suitable conditions are available and the embryo has overcome dormancy, it becomes active and starts germinating. This process of germination is irreversible. See, now this independent seedling starts germination. When suitable conditions are available and the embryo has overcome all the suitable conditions, when they are available for germination and the seed has passed the dormancy state, it becomes active and it starts germinating. This process of germination is irreversible. We cannot, once the seed started germinating, we cannot reverse that process. So this process is irreversible. Now we'll see the conditions necessary for germination. What are the conditions which are necessary for the germination of seed? Seed will germinate only if suitable conditions are available. The seed will germinate only when the conditions are favorable. The following favorable conditions are necessary for the germination of seeds. So the conditions which are necessary for the germination of seeds are water, availability of oxygen, and moderate or favorable temperature. So three conditions are necessary for the germination of seed, that is water, availability of the oxygen, and a moderate, or we can call it as a favorable temperature. Apart from these conditions, light also play an important role in the seed germination. See, these three are the necessary, we can say necessary for the germination of seeds, and apart from this, light is also very important for the germination of seed. So we will study these conditions one by one. Water. Dry seeds contain only 10% to 20% water. They are incapable of germination as long as sufficient quantity of water is not available. See, all the dry seeds, they contain only 10% to 20% of water, and they are incapable of germination. They require more water for the germination. Germination of seed starts only after the rapid intake of water through the micropyle and the absorption through their surface. See, children, while we were studying about that structure of the seed and seed coat, we have studied about the micropyle. It is the opening, a small pore which helps to absorb water. That means the water enters the seed through this micropyle, and when water enters the seed through this micropyle, the seed swells up and the seed coat bursts. So children, germination of seed starts only after the rapid intake of water through the micropyle and absorption through their surface. So when before germination, what happens when the seed starts germinating? It absorbs the water through the micropyle and helps in germination. Water intake helps the seed to germinate in the following ways. See, when the seed absorbs water through the micropyle, three things happens. See here. It softens the seed coat and causes its rupture. So when the seed absorbs the water, the seed swells up and it helps in the rupture of the seed coat. And when the seed coat ruptures, the plumule and radicle emerges out as they grow. So first thing, that the seed swells up, the seed coat ruptures, and the plumule and radicle emerges out from the seed. It activates the protoplasm and enhances the metabolic activities. We have seen, children, that in a dormant seed, in a dry seed, all the metabolic activities takes place at the lowest rate. But when the seed starts germinating, it activates the water which is absorbed through the micropyle. It activates the protoplasm and thus it enhances all the metabolic activities. It helps in the hydrolysis of the stored food materials into simple and soluble state. Now, the stored food material absorbs stored food material, mixes with the water, and it changes into simple and soluble state. It helps in the transportation of soluble water from storage tissue to the developing embryo. Now, this water which is absorbed by the seed helps in the transportation of that soluble food from the storage tissue to the growing embryo or to the developing embryo. This is all about water. So when this water is very, very essential. Without water, the seed will not germinate because the seed coat will not rupture and radicle and plumule will not come out or emerge from the seed. So it is very important. It helps in the hydrolysis of the stored food. It helps in the transportation of the stored food from the storage tissue to the developing embryo. The second condition is oxygen. During germination of seeds, metabolic activities accelerates and require energy. So, children, during the germination, what happens? The metabolic activities takes place at a faster rate, and for that they require energy. This energy is released from the stored food materials by the process of oxidation. So, the energy is released from the stored food material by the process of oxidation. For this purpose, the seed requires oxygen, and for the oxidation of that stored food, it requires oxygen. Because of the oxidation of food, oxygen is consumed and carbon dioxide is produced. See, children, when the food mixes with the oxygen, it helps in the oxidation of the food. And for the or that oxidation, what happens? Oxygen is consumed and carbon dioxide is produced. This exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place primarily through the micropyle. So this exchange of gases, that is oxygen is used up and carbon dioxide is released, that takes place with uh, through the micropyle. So micropyle helps in the absorption of water also, and it also helps in the exchange of gases. So this oxygen is very important for the oxidation of food. The third condition is temperature, that is favorable or the moderate temperature. Temperature plays an important role in the germination of seeds. So temperature plays important role. See, all the seeds does not uh, germinate at same temperature. Different temperatures we can see, or the optimum temperature is required for the germination of seed. Seeds of different plants germinate at different optimum temperature. So all the seed doesn't grow at the same temperature. Different seeds grow at different temperatures. So optimum temperature. Now what is an optimum temperature? Temperature at which the seeds grow most rapidly. So the temperature at which the seeds grows very rapidly, that temperature is known as the optimum temperature. Generally, seeds of tropical plants need higher temperature, whereas that of temperate climates need low temperature for germination. So, children, this seeds of the tropical plants, they require high temperatures for their germination, and the seeds of the temperate climates, they need low temperatures for the germination of seed. So this is all about, children, dormancy and the germination of seed. Now the process of seed germination. The seed contains a dormant embryo. We have seen all the dry seeds, they contain a dormant embryo. When it is to germinate, rapid intake of water through the micropyle makes the seed large, swollen, and the seed coat becomes soft and burst open. So the seeds, they contain, all the seeds contains the dormant embryo. When it starts germinating, it water is absorbed through the micropyle, the seed swells, the seed coat becomes soft, and it rupture or it bursts open. Absorption of water induces a number of physiological changes in the seed and enhance the respiratory activity. So when the seed absorbs water through the micropyle, a number of physiological process takes place inside the seed. As you have seen, that it activates the protoplasm and enhances the metabolic activities. Then it helps in the hydrolysis of the stored food from the stored food materials into simple and soluble state. It also helps in the soluble food transportation of the soluble food from the storage tissue to the developing embryo. So all these metabolic changes takes place inside the seed. The embryo produces a large number of enzymes, and during this metabolic activities, the embryo, it produces lot of enzymes. These enzymes hydrolyze the stored food materials and make it available to the growing embryo. So these enzymes, they hydrolyze the stored food materials and make it changes into simple soluble form so that it can be made available to the growing embryo. With the availability of the food, cell division starts in the embryo. Now, with the help of this food which is provided, soluble food which is provided to the embryo, cell division starts in the embryo. And when the cell division starts, children, the radicle and plumule grows in size and emerge out of the seed coat. And now what happens once this cell division starts? Radicle and plumule, they starts emerging out of the seed coat. The radicle is the first to come out of the seed coat. So children, this is very important. When the seed starts germinating or growing, and the radicle first comes out before the plumule out of the seed coat, it forms the root system that grows into the soil. So the radicle comes out first from the seed coat and it forms the root system and it grows in the soil. The plumule, after coming out of the seed coat, forms the shoot system. First the radicle comes out and then the plumule comes out from the seed coat and it forms the shoot system. As mentioned above, the germination of seed requires sufficient quantity of water, air and optimum temperature. So for the germination of seed, sufficient quantity of water, optimum temperature and air or oxygen is necessary for the germination of seed. And these three things are necessary for the germination of seed. This we will prove by performing some experiments in our next video. Thank you.